Your 3D is lying to you. Stop using it as evidence that your manifestation is actually happening. Because here's the truth. If you always need evidence before you believe that what you want is happening, you're always going to be recreating your past instead of creating your future. And that is what we're discussing in this episode of Roxy Talks. Stay tuned. What is up, my beautiful, lovely, wonderful unicorn creature? Thank you for being here for another episode of Roxy Talks, where we discuss everything you need to know to live a life you're truly obsessed with. I'm Roxy Lee, your favorite manifestation coach, plus timeline oracle, plus business psychic, and I'm here to make sure that you live a life that is beyond your wildest dreams, that you can actually feel like jealous of your own life. That is what I care about. Now, if you want to build your own belief in your manifestations day by day, check out my free 30 Days of Alignment Challenge. I'll link it below. It's what I actually used to change my life 7 years ago, and I'm still living off of the lessons that I created in that first 30 days. It was a challenge that I gave to myself. It changed my fucking life, and I wanted to change yours. It's free in the description below. And if at any time during this video you're like, Roxy, can we just like sit down and you can look in my situation, you can tell me what I'm doing to block myself, where's the next opportunity coming, what is my next move? Yes, that is what I do in my private work. RoxyTalks.com is where you can find that, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And if you enjoy the kind of content that helps you live a life that you're truly obsessed with, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss an update. I drop videos every Monday and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. PST, and I'm always chatting live during the premiere, so you can come say hi. And if you're feeling generous, please like and share. That helps us reach as many people as possible. And everyone deserves to live a life that is just awe-inspiring and exactly what they want to experience on this planet. Okay, here's the deal about the 3D. I'm gonna say a really yucky analogy. It's gross, I'm forewarning you, okay? But my guides, they know how, like, I'm very adverse to yuck, okay? I often call myself Princess and the Pea. I'm very sensitive to smells. I don't like anything gross. I don't like nasty things. I'm getting like choked up just talking about this. Like, I can feel my gag reflex like starting to go. I don't like gross, okay? So you've got that, right? So this analogy, I'm gonna apologize because it's kind of gross. However, they're like, we can't get this any clearer, okay? This is as clear to me as I can make it so I can convey this to you. The 3D reality is your mind's poop, okay? The 3D reality is your mind's poop, or you could call it your energy poop, whatever. If you're constantly using your 3D reality to give you your cues about how life is working for you and what reality you're creating, you're essentially just eating your own poop. I told you it's nasty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that analogy, but essentially it's like this, okay? Reality happens. You take it in through your eyeballs. You assess what that means. You digest it in your mind. You process it. That creates what I call a composite, okay? I talked about this. I'll link in the video above where I discussed how your standards create your reality, because there's always this constant dance of like 3D happens. You take it in, you make an assumption about it. The 3D that you're seeing plus your assumption about it creates a composite image that then comes back around and gets displayed out on the projector screen of 3D reality. So essentially what's happening is you're seeing, you're assessing, you're digesting, you're making I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time. You're making a product, a byproduct. There's a byproduct that is created from what I see, what I assess, and the things coming together. And then that comes back out into my 3D reality for my next experience. If I am constantly looking at that and saying, okay, this is what my life is, and this is all I can expect for myself, like you're reacting to your 3D and not adjusting what you think about it, what you say about it, what you expect. It's like you're rifling around in Dookie, reconsuming it. Okay. I hope I made that clear. I don't want to explain that one anymore. But there is a level of discernment that you can operate with that says, I see that that's going on in my 3D reality, but that doesn't mean that has to change what I believe to be true about myself. What I believe to be true is coming for me, what I expect to happen for me, and I'm going to take the high road here, and I'm going to see the poo, and I'm not going to eat it. Right? I'm not going to buy into what my 3D reality says if it's going against the grain of what I want. If your 3D reality is showing you something you love, then eat away, okay? Anyway, if it's not what you want, don't eat it, okay? Don't look at that and say, okay, this is the meal that I have to now consume because this is what's in front of me. You're allowed to say, no, thank you. You are allowed to say, that's cute and all, but that's not for me. Not in my reality. Okay, keep that over there. That's great for you, but not for me. Whatever you have to say internally to be like, no, thanks. Not in my reality. That's not me. That's cute, but actually that's cute, but I still am receiving whatever. That's you saying, no, thank you. I'm not going to eat that dookie. I'm not going to eat it. And so for the last few videos, I've been talking about this feedback loop where it's like, again, the same thing with the composite. You see something in 3D, you make an assessment about it, it comes back around as the next thing that you're going to see in 3D, essentially. Like that's the mechanism of how reality creation works. And so when you're constantly looking at the 3D reality to tell you whether it's working, you're looking at the 3D reality as evidence, you're listening to the 3D and saying, well, I guess it's not because this isn't happening. You are then in effect letting the old story, the old poo run the fucking show. It's going to determine what you get because you're taking your cues off of it, but it's taking its cues off of you. And the truth is that if you were able to see the poo and not eat it, which you know how to do, I know you know how to do it. I know you fucking know how to do this. If you were to start exercising that restraint that you have in the 3D world, when it comes to your manifestations, when it comes to your belief system, things could change for you a lot faster than they are right now. Every time you have to see it to believe it, number one, you're not changing reality. You're just perpetuating what you already see. And number two, you're defaulting and putting your power into what has already been created to create the future. You will not create something different if you're constantly using the past as your template for what's possible for you. And it makes sense because it's like, inside, like your nervous system wants certainty. Your nervous system wants to feel safe. Like you want to be like, I can breathe, I can relax. I know that it's working out. I know that it's coming. It's already here. I'm already there, whatever it is. You internally want to be able to relax into it. But when you're looking outside to tell you whether or not it's here, you're not creating that sense of safety within yourself. And so you're always going to be at the mercy of your 3D reality. You're always going to be at the mercy of what's happening out there, which you're not actively shifting internally. So you end up in this like trap of recreating what you've already had, reacting to it, keeping it in play, and then creating more instances for you to experience that. And this is the thing that most people don't realize is that the more you do this, things escalate. They get worse, they get harder, they get scarier, they get bigger. You've probably met somebody who like always has some sort of calamity in their life, always something. It's always this. And I'm not trying to shade them. Like it's just, you probably know somebody that's just, oh, now it's this thing. Now I have this. Now I got this. Oh, this person did this. Now this thing happened. It's just, there's always something going on with them. It's because they're living in that feedback loop of like, this is what I experienced. So I feel this way. And then it comes back around. And then I feel this way because see, it happened again. And then it comes back around and now this, okay, now I did this and now this is happening. What's happening every time is that the pattern remains in play, right? The pattern remains in play because they keep affirming it. Every time something negative happens, they're like, see this happen. This is what happens. This always happens. It's always this. It's always that. If it's not one thing, it's the other, right? They have that pattern within themselves. However, over time, they get numb to that pattern. Right? Because like the first time it happens, that's fucking terrible. The second time it happens, a little less shocking. It's a little less painful. There's a little bit of a dulling because you've already experienced it. The initial shock has already happened. And so the person becomes accustomed to the calamity because the calamity is fulfilling the pattern, right? So the calamity comes around, the calamity again, but they become numb to it a little bit. So they soften it a little bit internally. Well, that doesn't match the story that they keep telling. Because if they acknowledge the softening internally, then actually they would lower their chances of getting another calamity. However, most people don't notice the lowering. They notice that it happened again, so they recreate the cycle. But this time, the severity of the calamity has to increase. Because the story still asks for calamity, but the body doesn't actually feel as calamitous. The body doesn't take it as such a strong hit, right? Because we've already experienced it. So the severity of the calamity has to increase in order to validate the story. Because when it comes back around, it's going to be like, God, not me, blah, blah, blah. Like the story is dramatic, even though internally it might feel maybe less because we're already used to it. So the thing that comes around has to get bigger every time because the story stays the same. The story of the calamity remains, but the impact of it lessens each time because you get used to it. So the thing has to get bigger. The impact has to get bigger for the calamity story to stay in play. Okay. So when people are in that space, they have to be really careful. If this is you, you got to be really careful about affirming the negative thing. And it doesn't have to be a calamity, but any sort of pattern that you're in, it always escalates over time because you become numb to it as you continually experience it. But the story about it doesn't actually change. So the severity of the negative things that you experience has to increase to maintain the story because reality is taking its cues from you. So you've got to watch how you react to what's going on around you. How do you react to the things that you see and you experience? What do you say about them? Because that determines what comes back around. And if you're constantly in this cycle of, yeah, this always happens to me. Yeah, this always happens. Oh, there it goes again. I'm suggesting you be careful because the pattern I see in the thousands of people that I've talked to is that if the story remains, and it keeps happening, the severity of the calamities have to keep increasing to meet where the story is sitting. Because the story says, oh no. Oh no. So now another oh no has to come in. And then another oh no happens. You're like, oh no, another oh no. Now another oh no is coming. It's just this cycle that perpetuates itself. And obviously this works on the positive side too. So if we're talking about joy and elation, then like let that shit escalate. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, more. Yes, more joy. Woo, ah. That's why your joy also increases when you affirm joy. That's why when you're gracious, you have gratitude and you're like, yes, yes, yes. I can't believe this is happening. Oh my God, my life just keeps getting better. It gets better because the story remains. Yes, my life keeps getting better. So the things that come in to make your life better have to increase because you're going to get numb to good, right? Like you can get numb to good just like you get numb to bad. And so if your story remains, my life keeps getting better and better, then the way that life has to come in and get better has to naturally increase to match the story you're saying because reality takes its cues from you. So you can flip this to go in your way, but you have to have that conscious awareness, the awareness and discipline to do it in real time. That's 360 method. That's where I teach you to spot these areas where you're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, and turn them into oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, right? Like turn the oh no pattern into a fuck yeah pattern. That's what we do in 360 method all over every area of your life so that you can actually live a life that feels incredible to live and is not just this constant like cleanup process of all the shit that you've had to deal with your whole life. 360method.co. I'll leave a link to that below. So if you actually want to change what you see in a 3D reality, it's going to require you to stop looking to it to tell you whether you can believe things are working. It's going to require you to stop looking to it to tell you whether or not you're deserving or worthy. It's going to need you to stop looking to it to decide that this is what always happens to me because those patterns are just going to keep perpetuating. They're not going to change on their own. You can change what you receive in your world, but you have to start by changing what's going on in your inner world to affect the outer world. It's like a mirror. If I want my reflection to be wearing a hat, I have to put a hat on myself first in order for the reflection to be wearing the hat. The reflection will never pick the hat up first. Please, I hope. Can you imagine how scary it would be if your reflection started fucking acting on its own? That's not how reality works, thank God, right? So you go first, then reality follows. It's always going to be that way. So make sure that you understand when you are seeing something happen in your 3D, whatever you're doing right now to react to that is creating the next round. You're not just reacting to what's happening today. You're creating tomorrow's experience. Always, always, always. So you always want to be in control of this is what I see, but this is how I interpret it. That's 360 method. That moment of like, this is what I'm seeing, but this is what it means to me. That's where your manifestation power truly exists and where you can change any pattern, any habit, any bullshit in real time. If you're paying attention and you're willing to actually change it and then act like it has changed, act like you know it's coming, act like you know it's working in your favor. That's really the key to manifesting. It's just like, I see what's going on. That doesn't change what I say about my situation in my head. What I say about my situation in my head is this. And it just gives you an opportunity to reaffirm what you actually want. Negative experiences in your 3D reality are gifts. It's just like a token you get to exchange for a gift at like Chuck E. Cheese or something, right? Like you see it, okay, that's great, but actually it's this. It gives you an opportunity to reaffirm what you actually want and to send that out into the composite maker that brings the 3D reality to you. So I want you to comment down below, I am seeing my dreams come to life. I am seeing my dreams come to life because I want you to get into the habit of expecting good things to be shown to you on the 3D reality screen. And no matter what you're actually looking at, who gives a fuck, right? Like you could say it is whatever you want. And that is the muscle that I want you to practice flexing. This is what I see, but this is what I say. My eyes see this, my brain says. What your eyes see does not create the manifestation. It's what your brain says about what your eyes say that creates the manifestation. So when you can control that, again, 360 method, now you're cooking, baby. Now we're moving. Now we're actually creating something we want versus reacting to what's already here and then just having to sift through the shit of yesterday's reality spill to create the new thing, which we're not doing anymore. We're not eating I'm not even gonna finish my sentence. If you enjoy quirky, fucking kooky, campy shit like this, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss an update. I drop new videos every Monday and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. PST, and I'm always chatting live during the premiere, so you can come say hi. Make sure you download my 30 Days of Alignment challenge in the description below. This is what allowed me to make all of these changes that I was just talking about and become someone who reacted to the world I wanted to see, not the world that my eyes were seeing. That's where I began to master it. And actually the 30 Days of Alignment, I like to say, is the seed that grew into the 360 tree, because it was in doing that 30 days of alignment, and then I did another 30, and then I did another 30, and then it eventually became a lifestyle and a method of living, and that became 360 because it's like the all-encompassing version. So 30 days of alignment is like 360's little baby, or like maybe 360's mother, another way of saying it. And that's completely free. It's in the description below, so make sure you download that. And then of course, if you're ready to master that right now, you can check out 360 Method, and I'll leave that link below as well. And of course, if you just want me to sit down and look into your situation, we can have a private session. I'll tell you what you're doing to block yourself, what removes those blocks, what the next chapter looks like, what your next move is. That's what I do in my private work, roxytalks.com. You can find that there, and I'll leave a link to that below as well. If you're feeling generous, please like and share. That helps us reach as many people as possible, and everyone deserves to live a life that they're just absolutely obsessed with. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. You're wonderful. You're needed. You're necessary. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. I'll see you next time.